We lied, y'all. Okay, so we
We
was already
lied.
talking shit behind the scenes, and we was late, so we had to go ahead and push the button so we can get on here and talk shit with y'all while we live,
Right.
so y'all can get in on the conversation with us. So pick back up, old man. You was talking about your alpha man, and me and Gypsy was talking about any man that gotta say he an alpha ain't no motherfucking alpha.
That
Okay.
Hey, I've
part.
been an alpha since spring of '92. Delta Gamma.
Oh my
Just because
god.
you judge don't make you alpha man.
Hey, I'm talking about my
It makes you
fraternity. What are you
somebody
talking
paying
about?
dues. It makes you
I'm talking
somebody
about
paying
my
dues.
fraternity.
That's what it makes you. I don't care about your
I'm talking about
fraternity.
my fraternity.
Somebody
Yeah,
paying
I care
dues.
about my fraternity.
And listen, and if you
I
gotta
pay.
pay dues for somebody to call you an alpha man, then you ain't no damn alpha man. You a paid man.
Oh.
I'm
Okay,
a
so
man of Alpha, Alpha Phi Alpha.
I
Fraternity
understand what
Incorporated,
he means.
1906.
Right.
I know what he
What are you
means
talking
too,
about, Jeff?
I
but
understand
if
what
you
he
wanna,
means.
but we talking about those that be in our box with a grand rising.
You
Fuck
talking about
out
that
here.
Dr.
When
Umar
I see
stuff.
when I see grand rising, I block that shit right away. Grand rising.
Rising Queen.
And yeah, I think them simps, yeah. Ain't
Those are incels right there.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
As
them
soon
the
as
kind of
I see
men that
no, but I'm serious though. As soon as I see Grand Rising, I already know it's some bullshit finna come on.
yeah.
I mean,
It's some
hey,
bullshit.
I don't knock nobody for their belief system, and if that's how they want
It ain't a belief system. They didn't try to adopt that brother, man. And listen, he died underneath a hole. So
I mean, hey, that's the
Yep.
best way to go out. But anyway,
yeah, but it's the same hole that he said wasn't a high dollar one, a high value one.
Oh.
okay,
Yep.
Same kind of hole.
He
Same
did
kind
say
of
that.
hole he was downplaying. He was up under when he died.
no. See, this is what you got to understand. He wasn't downplaying them. What he was trying to do is get them to understand that you can't sit here and want to go after a high value man if you're not a high value woman yourself.
But he wasn't a high valued man either.
So all he was saying was basically to break it down, stay in your lane because when you try to move out of your lane, that's when you're gonna wreck your shit.
But see, I don't understand how women were calling him, allowing this old broke ass dude to talk to you any old kind of way. Because let me tell you something. When he first started his little channel, he was actually on the men and talking trash about the men. But what he found out was when he talked shit about the women, that's what got him monetized.
Hey, anybody that know anything know that if you want to make money, you need to gear it towards women. That's it. Anything.
that,
I give you a perfect
that is
example.
true.
I give you a perfect example. There's a major men's company that's been a men's company for quite some time that have implemented a lot more women into their commercials to sell their products. You know why? Because women will go out there and buy that stuff for their men. Now all I'm gonna say is they make the deodorants and aftershaves and body washes. I ain't gonna say nothing else because they ain't paying us, so I ain't giving them.
Man, I know who you talking about. Cause facts, I was like, what the fuck she doing wearing that?
You know what I'm saying? But hey,
Facts. My boy is funny, but I don't like the fact that they letting her like she using his stuff, and I'm like, hold up, bro. No, I don't smell like that.
you
And
know
it's
what I'm saying?
old man smell anyway.
You know what
Oh.
I'm saying? But I mean,
You
hey,
wear that old man.
they they knew it. They knew it was supposed to be better, but the original was the old man smell.
It is an old man smell. Like that's like when I was
Yeah.
little, that was like the shit that my uncle wore. And shit,
Oh
my
my
mom's
god.
brother.
Uh-huh.
smell like smell like your granddaddy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the thing is like whenever I see somebody that smell like that, I don't care how young he look. If he smell like that, that's a turn off.
I mean, hey, they're classic sense that would never go out of style.
I mean, but that's a turn off because I immediately think pedophile.
Damn.
How did we
Yeah.
get there?
I don't know
Girl.
if she made that connection, but damn. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I was young when I was smelling that smell. So when I smell somebody smelling like that,
So,
You may have just been fast.
if I wear today's smell, and some little girl smell that on me, then when she grow up and some guy wears a classic scent,
Pedophile.
okay, all right, hey.
That went, yeah, okay then. And to get us back on topic tonight, we got two things we talking about.
Hall passes.
Hall passes, and we back on the 50-50, y'all. So the hall pass is a question that somebody sent us to ask us to talk about. Would you give one? Would you take one if your person offered it to you?
I don't have a person, so I don't need no hall pass. I'm gonna do the fuck I want to do.
And we know this. Okay. So that being said, the second topic, 50-50. So that circled back around because we've talked about it at different points on the various episodes. And I came across let me go back and look at it. It's on one of the guy podcasts, but they had a guest. And y'all know the podcast I'm talking about. Oh shoot, what is it?
Yeah, because we always plug. We don't steal.
We don't steal. Okay, so it's on the Hartley. It's on the Hartley Initiated podcast. It was an interview they did with somebody named R.C. Blake, and he said,
he got my last name.
Huh?
He got my last name.
He got your last
so
name.
He might be my cousin.
He might be, girl. He said real men don't split bills 50-50. Okay, and
so then that means that none of these newfangled motherfuckers is real bill men's, because last I heard, all these niggas talk about 50-50. Like for real, don't they always talk about 50-50, 50-50, this, that, and the other, right? When I was married, right, I did not split the bills 50-50. Only bills we split 50-50 were the utilities. Because I had a certain lifestyle I was accustomed to, and I wasn't going to get up just because his check wasn't accustomed to it.
Now, he did talk about that. So, so since you said that, let me throw that out there.
That part. I'm not going to live a lifestyle that I'm surpassed, because I married somebody who can't accommodate my lifestyle. So that's the other thing too, is how Sean was saying earlier, date your lane. I mean, I thought I was in love, y'all. Because this was somebody, the guy that I married was somebody I had been dealing with off and on since I was like 26. But I let family get in my ear. I let a lot of people get in my ear. But he was also on some fuck shit. But I did let my family get in my ear, and it did kind of influence a lot of the stuff that I did. I was like, real talk, like, okay, I'm done. But that being said, by the time we got married, my salary was a lot different than it was when we first started dating. Because by then I had a couple of degrees under my belt. I had a bunch of experience under my belt, and I was doing pretty well. But because I was making a lot more than him, I did not want to split the bills, but I also wasn't spending share no bank account either. Like, that's something I did not do. But one thing I did do is, like, we split utilities. And it was that kind of thing. But that's the other thing that people don't understand is I don't think that you should put all your money in the same bank account. I think you should put household bills, like your part of the household bills, in the same account. Y'all have that account together. Yeah. But I agree with that. Your money is your money. Do what you want to with it.
So let me go back before we get too far into it. Let me go back to what he was saying so we can introduce it to the conversation. Girl, what are you over there doing?
She making some
whip. I got my infusion.
You got whipped cream?
Yes,
Gush, put it there.
with drinks. I hope
Look,
with drinks.
what you not finna do is fuck up my flow.
Hey,
Now,
Listen, and I'm smacking when I say this.
we
Put the
we
whipped cream down. No. Okay, so let me get back to what he said so we can
hey,
introduce
I'll
the
bring the
topic.
rest of the whipped cream over after the show, man.
Oh my God.
you know
See,
what? If you don't go to hell trying to fuck
y'all
up my
stop
flow,
doing that, or folks gonna really think y'all doing something for real.
right?
Oh man, y'all gonna have people think y'all doing something for real, and I'm gonna be hyping them up too, like I told y'all they was doing it. But anyway,
I'm weighing Merlin. Y'all know he got that thing if he doing that from Alabama.
see. So okay, so he covered what you were talking about, Gypsy, from two different sides. So I want to throw both those out there from
Okay.
what he was sharing from the masculine perspective, and then I want to ask Sean, an old man, to comment. And I said your boy says we will give him a shout out because they give us shout outs.
Yes. Hey,
Your boy Sid has a
Sid.
podcast on YouTube as well, so check them out. They go live. They have a channel, so search them out. Your boy said,
Love you, Sid. Put your link in. Where's this
yes,
link? Get
put
this
your link
link.
in so we can share it.
Yeah.
I'll grab it. And so he said, you know, y'all want to be independent, but hey, 50-50. First of all, I think that men, because y'all don't ask enough questions, sometimes don't really understand what a woman even means when she's talking about being independent. Y'all
Exactly.
hear a Beyonce song. Yep, I said what I said. Now keep explaining because I see y'all shaking your head. Y'all listen to a Beyonce song or a whoever song or whatever song, and you think you understand what a woman is saying. And women are just as guilty. They'll take a piece of what a man said and run with that shit instead of asking questions for clarity and really working to understand instead of assuming. So now
Yeah.
back to what Mr. Blake said. He
Mhm.
covered a woman making more or less in lifestyle, right? So he said him and his wife been married 20 something years, and I appreciated this. She made more money than him when they got together. But he said
Mhm.
one of the things that he respected about her was her honor of him. And because he made less money, and I'm paraphrasing, because he made less money, but she understood the vision that he had for who he wanted to be. She didn't look at him different. And here's the caveat. And she chose to keep their lifestyle within the means that he could provide because she understood it would not always be
I
that way.
was finna downgrade my
Ain't nobody
lifestyle though.
asking that yet. Let me finish. That's ain't nobody
Okay.
asking you to downgrade. So calm down, killer, and let me
Okay.
finish.
All right. All right.
Sip your drink, girl. Sip your drink. So that being said, I interpreted his point, and he was very clear that everything ain't gonna work for everybody, and two people have to decide what that looks like for them, right? I interpreted his point as she understood he wanted to be a provider, and that's what he said. His vision for his family was to be a provider, so she didn't have to work and to make enough to cover everything, right? She understood that, so she handled things in such a way as to allow him to step into that even before it was possible. And I'm sure they used her salary as well and did what they had to do. And here they are now where she doesn't have to work and he handles things, right? But that was his goal. She was okay with that. That's one scenario. On the other side, he also talked about, now it's the difference if you meet a woman and she just way out your stratosphere. She might be making $1 million and you might be making 100, right? So, and I'm paraphrasing and just being random. That being said, you can't expect her, going back to where you were, Gypsy, you can't expect someone that has created a certain lifestyle, whether it be a man or a woman, to dumb it back down to where you are to protect your ego and your pride, right?
And that's something that people was jumping on Lisa Ray about when she
Mhm.
was saying she wasn't going to date a man who can't go on vacation when she want to take a month off and go on vacation. Well, date your fucking income, bitch. You know, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the dude.
Period.
Because it was the men that were complaining. And I'm like, date your income then. If you know that your ass can't afford to take a month off, then shut the fuck up and go with somebody who can't take a month off with you.
Well, no. So I'm a counteract that, and I'm gonna say, if you know that you're dating somebody outside of your income bracket on both sides, if you're dating someone who makes more than you, and if you choose to date someone who makes less than you, that I do think it falls on the person that has the most income to make that decision. Or if I want this person to be in my life, then I got to be willing. And you've alluded to that in your past experience. You stepped in to cover the bulk of things to maintain what you were used to, right? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of it. I just wanted to introduce his points.
I
Because
love
I
what
felt like
Jason
they
said.
conveyed. I'm gonna put it up there in just a minute. But I love what he was conveying because I felt like he was able to say more succinctly and more concisely in man talk what we have been saying. That's why women don't want to go 50-50, because his point was it's not about the money. It's not about the average woman not.
No, it's not, because.
But wait a minute. It's not about the average woman not wanting to help. His point was, don't no woman want a man who does not act as her covering, her shelter, her shield, her provider, her protector, and come in with that masculine energy. And if you aren't able to step up to the plate and handle whatever it may be, are you really a man?
Okay, now let me go ahead and
wait a minute,
clear all this up.
Hold on, real quick. Oh man, not only that though. The thing. Hold on, slow your roll.
No, I gotta address this.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Everybody pause for just 1 minute, because I want to make sure y'all understand the context in which I made that last statement, because I heard it.
Oh,
and I
we understand.
No. He wasn't saying that a man that makes less than a woman is not being a man. He was trying to explain how we as women feel.
I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about is this. The bottom line is this. From day one, why do women want that as a man, to be the protector and the provider? Is because genetically,
that's what he's supposed to be.
No. Listen. Genetically, back in the day, when we first started out, and we
always so loud.
When we were nomads, when we were wandering people, the men went out and hunted, and the women went out and gathered. So that's where the 50-50 come in at, because we went out, we hunted, we got the meat, we got the pelts, we got the skins, and y'all went out and got the fruits and vegetables and brought all that back together. And that's how we made a household.
Right.
Then at some point in time, people had money. Now, when you had money, when you came and you married this woman, you became the provider, because her family gave you a dowry, and they gave you a fiefdom, or a piece of land, for you to cultivate, to provide for that woman.
And until 1974, women couldn't own property or have single bank accounts.
But we're not even getting into that part. We just talking about the basics.
Yeah, we are, because that's why half the time she stayed with old cheating ass fucking Papa Smurfs.
No,
because she had no choice, because she couldn't get a house, she couldn't get land, and she couldn't get a bank account. So yeah, there was a lot of people. Hold on now, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why don't we have the relationships like as old people?"
I'm not talking about.
That's why. Because she stayed out of need, not out of greed.
You're talking about something else I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the basics that set everything up. So that's why the man is looked at as the provider, because of what happened. Now, does that still occur? Hell, you lucky as hell if you marry somebody and her family pays for the wedding. Because it used to be the time they would pay for the wedding and they would give you the down payment for the house, or they pay for the wedding and they pay for the honeymoon. That don't happen no more. So when you grow up, and this is what it boils down to, your circumstances. When you grow up and you come up in a single parent home, you don't have no money, she don't have no money, and y'all get married, y'all got to do it together. So that's where the 50-50 come in at. Now, fast forward to today. Some people are doing well for themselves. Some people aren't. It all depends on your situation. If you are doing well, because I don't know a man that if he has it, he won't do it. But what I do know are men that...
plenty.
No, wait. I'm just talking about what I know. I mean, hey, I know it's a lot of fuck niggas out there, and fuck niggas, that's why they fuck niggas. But anyway, The men I know, if they have it, they're going to do it. But if they don't have it, hey, let's work together and build it and get it so that I can do it. But at the end of the day, it's all what society. Society says, oh, this is what a man's supposed to do. This is what a woman's supposed to do. Okay, then.
I gave that nigga a pass, and that nigga cheated with his money.
Fuck it. If I'm paying everything, I'm doing everything, then your ass better be in that kitchen cooking.
Making them pots and pans sing,
That
baby.
nigga had a pass, and he cheated with his money. So now what?
And like
Hey,
I said,
Sean, I agree with what you said, brother. I agree with what you said.
Cooking, cleaning, making sure the house straight, all that shit. And all I do is come home.
And his ass should have been in the kitchen.
Eat dinner, get some head, and go to
I was bringing home the bacon, so he should have been in the kitchen.
If you going 50-50, then damn right, I'm in there cooking and cleaning too.
You sure should have, and he should have been in there cleaning naked.
See, and see, hey, you got it like that as a female?
He should have been cleaning naked.
By all means, because trust me, if you gonna take care of me, shit, you want me clean naked? What you need clean next?
Goddamn, you supposed to be cleaning naked and frying that fucking chicken.
Now I ain't frying nothing naked. You know how that.
But
hey, Sean, let me show you this with you guys right quick, Jay.
Hold on.
A couple things.
Hold on 1 second. Oh man, I want to respond to Sean real quick, and then I'm gonna kick it to you. So Sean, to respond to the point that you made about I don't know any men that won't give it if they don't have, the same point is valid that Gypsy and I have always said to old man. Just because you don't know those type of guys don't mean that.
That's right.
So we're just making context to say, like you said,
like, I love that nigga's funky draws, right? But the thing is,
and the grown ass man
there are some folks who they don't like. That's why I admire Jason when he talks about they got married at 22. Now me and my ex-husband met in our 20s.
Hold on, because I want to be fair. I was just reminding Sean of that, and I told old man I was gonna kick him, and then I'll kick it back to you. So old man,
go ahead, old man.
Okay, a couple of things, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get them in.
Like
First of all, well, I'm outside in the parking lot. I'm super.
Oh, okay. I was like, he look like he on a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah. So he can talk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
A couple things. One, I'm not going with that hall pass type crap. If we got to get hall passes, let's just go ahead and go our separate ways. Other thing is Lisa Ray. Hey, when she talk about not changing her lifestyle or down in who she date, she fine. She welcome to date anybody who can afford take her on vacations and stay gone month, 2 months. She welcome to any guy who's that. Now Lisa Ray is about what 55, almost 60. You know, but now, which means she gonna be looking. Hey, that's not a problem. I'm just simply just trying to state a fact because I'm trying to identify the group that she's gonna be looking for. Now she gonna be looking for someone.
Nigga, as long as that motherfucker's over 21, I'll be looking for him. And what?
Damn, you just combative to be combative. You just won't listen with you.
And
you
what?
Just won't let him. You just won't let him go.
I sure the fuck won't, because you about to come out your mouth with some shit about her having to
deal with what I'm gonna say.
Motherfucker that got to deal with a damn blue people in order to damn kick it up. What?
I don't know. You have no idea what I'm gonna say.
Just let him finish his
You have no idea.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm simply saying, I'm gonna say this right here. Now, she is gonna have to look at the men who can afford to do something like that. Well, guess what? 20-some-year-old men can't afford to take off for money. A lot of 30-year-old men don't start getting. Goddamn, you just argumentative to be argumentative.
See,
ladies and gentlemen, don't be like that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be like that. Don't be argumentative to be argumentative.
That's because he want to put something in your mouth to shut you up.
I'll be over. I'll be over later on. We go. Trust me. She don't be like this at later. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna be like this till I get up out this bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you something. Just wait.
Oh hell
And
no!
you gonna keep
No
on
way.
until you get it.
You
You gonna keep on until you get it.
gonna stop fucking up my damn flow, acting like you
Okay.
right here next to me, bitch. Your
Hey,
ass is in
son,
Alabama. Everybody in
$59,
the neighborhood
son.
you talking about.
Southwest.
We're gonna mute them and catch up on the comments because what the hell is happening right now?
Okay.
Jason said, "I'm glad I got
$59
married at 22."
Southwest.
Jason said, "I'm glad I got married at 22. We was both broke, so we work as a team. I am with you when you right, Jason." He said, "I pay 98% of the bills now, and we have never shared a bank account, and we're in year 22." So I think we can circle back to that bank account thing in just a minute because I know Gypsy, you were making a point on that too, and Sean, I think. Jason also said, "And it's too late, old man and Gypsy. Y'all been a couple for a week for me now. Hey, tell the truth, Jason. Tell the truth, because they up here lying. Okay." Travis Banks said, "Back in the day, we Black Americans could not have $1 million life insurance policies either. The man is supposed to take care of the bulk, and the woman is supposed to pick up the slack. True that, bro. No hall passes given. I'm the only man that gets to clap the cheeks of the woman that I'm dealing with." Okay, so we're gonna circle back to something that Jason said and Gypsy had brought it up too. Now, I'm a fan of separate accounts too. Ideally, in my mind, I think it's great if both people
I
have their
never did get a
individual accounts.
chance to state my position.
No, because y'all was sitting here doing all that arguing like two little kids. So we're gonna let y'all take a time out and get through them comments and catch up. Then y'all can take back over. So back to the separate bank accounts. In my mind, I think that it's ideal when a person can have their own separate accounts and then have a joined or combined household account that everybody's putting funds into. Maybe you have a vacation fund that both people are putting into, or the person that makes the most money is putting into, retirement fund.
I'm not gonna put in no more than he put in, and I'm gonna tell you why.
That's valid.
That's fair.
That's valid. Hold on, let me finish and then catch up with the comments, and then I'll kick it back to you, old man, as long as y'all ain't gonna argue like 2 5-year-olds. Okay. So that being said, ideally, the two people are figuring out what makes sense because there's no one right way or no one wrong way, right? So whether you're both putting in equally or the person that makes the bulk of the income says, "I'll kick in a higher percentage because I have extra disposable income," whatever that may look like, right? Are you creating? I'm also a big fan of documentation and protection. So if you're going to be together in a long-term relationship or a marriage or whatever it is, get something in writing. Because like we've talked about in the past, too many folks that sat up and got their damn feelings hurt at them funerals, come out family friend, and don't nobody know who you is and them children or the family or the mama or the cat or the whoever kick your ass out that house in the street when that person dies right after you done did all this and booed them up.
So I ain't finna be in the damn obituary as the goddamn special friend.
So, old man, you and Gypsy can take it back away.
You know what? Go to hell. Go to hell. You tried to do that. You tried to do it. Shut up.
So my whole thought process is this. It depends on the situation. If you, I mean, yes, I truly believe, yes, you each need to have your own account. You need to have a joint account.
Hey, Sean, before we talk about retirement, let me go back to that point I was trying to make. Because that's changing the subject. I don't want to change the subject and come back. Is that okay with you, Sean? Because I know I cut you off.
What's the point you're trying to make?
The point I was making is this right here. Lisa Ray is right at a 60-year-old woman. The type of man
that is not 60.
The man talk.
Okay. 55. She definitely getting those letters from AARP. She got that letter from AARP. She at retirement age. The type of man who's making that type of money where they can afford to take off 30 days, 60 days, 90 days at a time, those are not 30-year-old men. They're not, sometimes in cases, 40-year-old men. They are generally men who are up in age, who are at that same age. Well, those men, they're going to be looking for a woman. Most likely, man, they're not looking for 55-year-old women. Now, some of them will take 55-year-old women, but for the more than likelihood of them, most of them are looking for a younger one. They're not gonna look for women in Lisa Ray's age. So if
You know
she
what you talking
really
about, old man.
wants,
You say that every
she
time, and I talk to men
she
every day that say
really
something different.
she really needs to expand her range. She shouldn't just worry about some man who can afford to take off 30 and 60 days. Maybe she need to look at some guys who can take off a weekend, a couple of days.
You sound senile right now because you
You
always
do,
crazy.
because what
No,
I'm
Hey,
gonna
that
tell
ain't
you
funny.
is a
I
man is
know this. I
looking for
know that's
somebody
something
that's
that y'all
younger.
don't want to hear, but
No,
that's something you have to.
no,
That's
no,
something you have to.
no. Because let me tell you something. A guy that's looking for a woman that is that much younger, that actually cannot hold her own weight, is actually looking for somebody he can control.
Ooh,
No, that's not necessary.
Bullshit. He looking for somebody he can control. Because
I know that's
the
not
one
what you
thing
want to
for
hear.
certain, and two things for sure: your money won't move me, and damn sure at 55, your dick won't either.
That's
Hey,
necessary.
listen.
But we ain't gonna go there right now. But anyway, I mean, hey,
I'm just saying.
hey,
That's why we need hall
well,
passes.
okay. So let me chime back in here because oh man, I was reading a comment that somebody said you sound senile because you say the same thing every single time. You always try to insinuate that older
Well,
women. Well, let me finish my rebuttal to your comment though. You
Mm-hmm.
always try to insinuate older women. I'm agreeing with them and I'm adding on. They said you sound senile because you say the same thing. I'm adding on. You always try to insinuate that older women don't have an opportunity to meet gentlemen in our age range if they're 35, 45, 55, 65 and up. But we're trying to express to you, it ain't that we don't want to hear that, is that that's not the reality that we experience every day. I get hit on by younger men. I get hit on by men my age. I get hit on by older men. I get hit
Mm-hmm.
on regularly. So does Gypsy. So does every woman that I know. It's kind of the
I done
opposite of
got
what
hit on by somebody as young as my kid, and what I said is, that feel pedophile.
so it's kind of what you and Sean are saying when you say, I don't know nobody
hey,
that'll do that.
what do you think
But we're
that? What do
telling
you
what
think that
we're
young
telling you is
kid
from
want to
our
do?
experience. We know women every day that are dating in their age range. They're dating men that are stable. They're dating men that are retiring. They're dating men in a similar age bracket that are financially grounded, that are not looking for children, that are not looking for women to have babies. It's a lot of men that don't want to have kids, just like there's a
That
lot of
part.
women that don't want to have kids. So every
Mm-hmm.
older woman is not out here trying to rock the cradle and find a young child because ain't no man want her.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. That just ain't
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
true.
we talked about. We talked about. We don't say every. We don't say all. Cause yeah, the fact is, if I say every man look at this, I'll be a fool. I can't say what every man. We are not monolithic. Everybody have their likes. Some like them older, some like them tall, some like them skinny, some like them bigger. Some, it just there is a range in what people like. But I'm talking about the likelihood.
Yeah,
Now,
but you still
it's the
can't say
same
that
thing
unless you
as
go
when
pull up
people
some
buy.
statistics. You can't say that that's the likelihood because we're
Right.
literally combating it and saying that's
We
not the
telling you,
experience.
bro.
Every
And
woman
that
that I know that
remember,
is
remember,
married to a man in her age range.
that's right. And you're absolutely correct. And guess what? More likely when they met each other when they was either younger or they met each other roughly the same at the same point. I'm telling you this right here. I'm telling you, a man who can afford to take off 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, more likely if he trying to find somebody to go with him for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, more than likely he wants something that is more visually attractive. Now, are older women attractive?
Wait, wait,
Yes,
wait,
they
wait, wait.
are. Are
I,
they
I,
sexy?
I got
Yes,
Hey,
they
right.
are. But we're
no man,
talking
you coming
about
down
the
to
more
Alabama and
we're
punch your
talking.
ass in the throat.
gotta shut you down right there
We
because
talking about the like.
I mean,
Hold on. I know you got you because you got. I know the sisterhood and all that stuff go come at it and everything. I'm talking about
I don't,
the
I don't
what
care
is
about.
more probable,
I'm
what
talking
is more likely.
older women that look good because even right now, like if I had a
And I
whole,
said that
if
Lisa Ray looked good.
I had a hall pass, you know who my hall pass would be for? Pam Grier.
Mine will be with
She's
Michelle
aging well.
Obama.
I had to think. She aging well.
Yo, she looked good as
No,
hell.
Liz.
Always look good as hell.
Fine. Yes.
So, and I mean, I know she got to be what 60, almost 70. Shit,
She's 70.
shit.
And to go back to your comment, old man. First of all, AARP sending shit to people at 35 and 40.
So, Lord. So
that's not
you
an
go to
indicator.
hell.
That's not in. Second of all,
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't hear what y'all just said.
Pam
I
Grier
didn't hear
is
what you said.
75, boo. Pam Grier is 75.
Yeah.
You can still get it.
Yeah.
So again, all I'm
And she
I'm
just
just some.
3 days for my birthday, you know.
all I'm interjecting is this. Oh man, unless you gonna pull out some statistics, you can't even tell us that it's likely that men
That
are trying
part.
to date younger women because that's just not what we experience. Every single woman that I know that is married
Some
or
things
dating
are a natural fact. Some things are natural
no,
facts. You look at
Boy,
nah,
you can look at the animal
no,
kingdom. Even in the
no,
animal kingdom, it's
boy, stop.
always that
no.
younger
That's
line
okay.
is more
With all
attractive.
due
The
respect,
older ones are moved on
that's
out.
your situation.
Right. If you got a fetish for younger
It's
women, just
nature,
leave
That's
it
your
alone.
biology.
situation.
It's biology.
No, that's
I'm
no.
not talking
That's
about I'm
that's
just saying what
your
biology.
So
situation.
moving on, so we can stay on point. The comments. Jason said, "I've been a good nigga for 22 years. I should get a hall pass. Good nigga equity or some. You get 2 claps and a handshake. There you go. Because I don't think your wife signing up for no hall pass. But if
Right.
you let us know."
You ain't finna get no
Well,
hall pass, nipple.
Travis Banks said, "I'm in favor
well,
of separate accounts and just do right by one another. There should not be any problems unless somebody wants to do significantly less." Right, right. So let's keep moving on because we done talked about this and oh man, we just think you just see now
Yeah,
and just
let's go on and go over to the hall
okay.
pass time.
yeah, hall pass.
Let me
Well,
say
well,
this.
Sean, you want to interject before we move on because you normally silent, so we trying
Yeah,
to
you go ahead.
The thing about the separate bank accounts, the reason why you have one joint account to cover the bills and your separate accounts for your own money is because it helps you manage the bills better. Because even when you're making more money as a man and you put more money into that account, at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen? She's going to come back like, hey, we got extra money in this account. And you say, no, that's not extra money. I put that in to make sure everything was covered. Let's leave that in there and just keep putting what we normally put in. But of course, because now because I got a raise or whatever happened, I'm putting more money in there. We're definitely covered. So no matter what happens, even if something pops up, there's some type of something happens now, we gotta go to the hospital, there's a medical bill,
Right.
something up, we can still go to that and not touch our separate accounts. So that's the reason why having that joint account works for the both of you, especially if you have children. So that's why that works. But definitely have your own separate accounts and put you in. And I always tell women, even though y'all have that joint account, you have your separate accounts, you need to have your own secret account that you don't know nothing about. I always tell women that. I always tell women
I tell everybody that,
Why
man
why
and
do they
woman,
need that
because
secret account?
because if anything happens, they break up or whatever, now he got all these feelings and he want to be like, oh, because that joint account, his name is on it. He can go in there and stash all that money out, close it out,
yep.
and drive. But if you got that
Well,
separate account, he don't know
well,
nothing. You can have your money stacked up and he don't know nothing about. So even if he do
so she should
good,
take money from the entire household and just stash it under her
That's
secret
literally
account.
not what he just
it's
said.
not taking it from the
That's
house.
not what he said.
if you have that account and you put in what you're supposed to put in there, it's not taken away from the household.
You
know what?
want
I'm gonna
to
say
argue
this
for
right
the
here.
sake of
At
arguing, oh
first,
man, that ain't what he said.
no,
And
I'm just, I just simply asked a question.
mm-hmm,
I just asked a question and asked for clarification.
mm-hmm.
I don't think that's arguing when you ask for information. Now,
It is.
I
Okay,
would say I do agree
listen,
with
old
you.
man.
A couple things. I believe, you know, when couples, whichever one that actually works for them, that's probably the best one. But for as far as what I truly believe, one, I believe you can have separate accounts, but you should not have hidden money. I don't
The
think you
fuck
should
you
have hidden
shouldn't.
money. Cause
The fuck you shouldn't. Grandma always kept money in her titty, even when she couldn't have a
yeah,
bank account.
listen. I think
I'm
when you
just
bringing
saying.
in funds and you don't and you hiding,
No,
if you got to hide money from a person, that's not your person. That's not the right person for you. That's not your Prince Charming. That's
I
not
don't
your
care what you say,
Princess
because
Fiona or
grandma
whatever.
always kept money in her bra.
And
You trying to tell me grandma and her
Listen,
safety pin was
if you
was
got to
not
hide money,
listen,
that's
I'm
what
sorry,
now
but grandma
now what
always
if I
told us
hear
to
this?
always have your own separate money that nobody knew about. Be it in a coffee
Well,
can, the
then how would you
refrigerator, the
think?
freezer, your bra.
How do you think your husband would feel? Here it is, he's struggling. He got something either in collections or out of near in collection, or is getting ready to lose something.
if
Spoiling them
And
like
here
Christmas.
it is, you sitting on a bank account, and you got about an extra $10,000 in there. How do you think that person would feel if they
but
find that out?
if she really his wife, she not gonna talk about the bank account, but she gonna say, you know what, baby, I managed to get some cash up together. Here,
Exactly.
take care of that.
Right.
He's
This
doing the same thing for her if the
that
situation
part.
was reversed.
But he can't because he trying to put out his shit in everybody's account.
I mean, I think you had too much to drink. Stop
Well,
the whip.
No, it's the truth. The thing
What?
is if you're not listen, the thing is everybody should be in self-preservation mode. And if you're not in self-preservation mode
when you're married,
and you don't have a secret stash in case some shit blow up, your fault.
And that's why I tell women, I don't
well,
tell
I
as
think that secret stash is your getaway, your getaway pass or package, or your safety net. How about this right here? How about put 100% of your effort in making sure your marriage survive, and you don't have to worry about that secret stash?
and that's
Because one thing,
women.
honesty cannot be the top of the question if you got a secret stash.
Yeah, and you shouldn't as a man, you shouldn't even be worried about that because at the end of the day, you want your woman to be all right, even if y'all not together.
Mm-hmm.
That.
But
And again,
Hey,
unfortunately,
hey, I want my woman to be
but, but every
well taken care of. But
to
I don't want my woman to be
situation.
to have a safety net for jumping relationship. You know, I don't.
That
That's
ain't
not
what
what
the
I want.
safety net is for. But the
It's not
thing is when you do act a fool,
it's not jumping the relationship. It's for the simple fact if this man decide, you know what, I want a newer model.
yep.
That's
And
just
and that
I would
has
think
been
you would
proven.
understand, oh man, because you're the one always talking about men want a younger model.
And
Well,
exactly.
I'm talking about single men,
no.
No,
not
you're
married men.
not.
When
No, you're
a
not.
married,
Married man. Let me
Listen,
tell you something. How
we
do you
talking
think
about
they wind up on a second and third marriage? Because a lot of times they try to trade her in for a newer model.
I'm
now
talking
if you remember, now if you
about
all know, 80% of most divorces are filed by women. So it's not the men who are in these marriages; it's the
Yeah.
women,
Wait a minute.
and that's a fact,
She
Jay.
filed, but wait. How many times is she gonna supposed to how many times is she supposed to accept him stepping out before she files.
Well, she should.
Let me tell you something.
Who says he's stepping out?
I
Where's the
loved
balance says he's stepping
Listen,
out?
hold on now. What I tell you, I loved it in his funky ass draws. But what
Hey
I was
Jay, I
not
want you to
going
hold
to
on to the
do,
same standard.
hold on now.
She's not talking numbers. She's just
What
talking
I
her
was
reality.
not listen, what I was not going to do was continue to allow him to step out. And that's the thing, is everybody has a breaking point, right? And there are most women, when we file, it's because we have reached our breaking point. Do you know how many indiscretions we have probably looked past before we've reached that breaking point?
That all
I
depends.
don't know. I don't know a whole lot of men who's like that.
Men,
But I know that
You
was just
always
your
say that
reality. We
bullshit.
talking
Let
about
me tell
the
you something. Let me school you, old
no.
man. Your fucking
I'm just
circle
saying
is
that
fucking
because Jay
small.
held me to
Let
the
me tell
standard
you, let
to
me just tell
reduce
you this.
numbers.
In Alabama, your circle is fucking small. Let me just tell you that right now. Because let me tell you, it's a lot of folks out here doing it's a lot of folks out here doing fuck shit that people overlook. And they overlook for a while. They overlook for a while before they decide to, okay, you know what? I'm through with this shit.
So everybody, let's take a breather, because Gypsy, at this point, you gotta recognize he get a kick out of this. He get a kick out of riling you up and getting you turned up. Okay.
my breaking point is, if you stop giving head, then you know what? I'm gonna start looking other places.
Well, shit, your mouth get tired after 50 years. Shit.
Jesus.
50. Okay.
Hey.
So Sean, okay, so thank you for bringing that up. You said, if I remember correctly, and I'm paraphrasing, but you basically said if you take care of the whole household and she ain't got to work, you want her turned up in the kitchen making them pots and pans, sing and do that dance, and you want head every night. And there are plenty of women that would readily agree to that, right? Relationships are business. You have to negotiate what it is that you desire with your person and vice versa, and come to those terms of agreement. And so there are plenty of women that be like, shit, if you paying all the bills, can I get some shopping money? Can I get some self-care money? Can I go on vacation with my girls every once in a while? And you want head every night? Bet. Done deal. Where I sign. There are plenty of women that will say that. There are plenty of women that will agree to something else. There are plenty of so all we're saying, and the whole reason that going back to the video I shared, the reason I shared that is I felt like he was saying it in a way that men could understand, but he was conveying what Gypsy and I and some of the other women have tried to explain in the past. It's not about helping in the household. I don't know any women that wouldn't be willing to help in their household to make sure that their family is good, and won't hold it down if that man is injured or something happens and he can't maintain, right? Every woman I know would step up to the plate, but that doesn't mean that I know every woman. That being said, 50-50 can look a lot of ways. I think, as I've had this conversation with women around me, most women find it offensive when a man is literally trying to nickel and dime. Well, if I pay 125 on this, you got to pay 125 too. If I pay 78.87 on this, you got to pay 78.87 on this too. It's not about coming together to make sure that we're both contributing to the household. It's about, if you want to call yourself a man. So going back to where I started before we went live, I also was making the joke about seeing a lot of guys say, I'm an alpha man. And my thing is, if you gotta proclaim that you're alpha man, are you really? Because that should come across in your behavior. If you gotta convince somebody that you're a provider, same sentiment. If you gotta convince somebody that you're a provider, are you really? Because your provision isn't just about your money. Your provision is about your vision. Your provision is about your caring for her in that masculine energy in ways that translates to help her feel safe and nourishes her. So her provision for that man is the same of her feminine energy and the mix of who she is, caretaking for him in ways that make sense for him, right?
Exactly.
But a lot of us women find offense with the 50-50, because how you proclaiming you an alpha man and you are this and you are that, and you literally trying to pull out your calculator like Poindexter and break a bill down into 3 pieces and all this, that, and the other. Like, that doesn't add up. That's all.
Hey, and I agree with what Sean did.
And the thing is, right, is that a real alpha man really doesn't have to proclaim he's an alpha man. She knows he's an alpha man. She's willing to accept that he's the alpha man, and she's helping him to be the alpha man. But at the same time, if you got to keep announcing it and you got to keep like harping on it and trying to get her to do her quote unquote 50-50, are you really alpha or are you trying to portray one?
Now, my thing is
Hey,
this.
Sean hit the nail on the head. Sean, let me just cause my phone finna cut out. I'm at 3%.
Oh, good.
Sean,
Your
I
phone
agree
said
with you. You hit the nail on the head, brother. Okay. Hey, Sean, when you hit the nail right on the head when you talked about the notion a lot of us came from single parent households, and so when we got married, everybody had to work, and some of us had a little more. You was able to do that analogy, man. I agree with it wholehearted. Jay, this idea, I like the idea when you said it is petty for a man to be trying to nickel and dime a woman. I think that's absolutely petty, and it should not be. But I'm gonna say, I would say this right here. I'm the type of person because I came from growing up, and I came from single household. Because my dad died when we was young. My mom, she did an awesome job with 3 boys who like to fight and tear up everything, and she always had us looking good. But my belief is this right here: everybody gotta have a job. Wife gotta have a job. The dog better bark. The cat better chase and catch a rat, and the fish better swim. And if I ever come home and the fish ain't swimming, his ass going in the toilet. So
I bet your mom used to
that's
beat your ass, didn't she?
Okay, so let me catch up on these comments real quick. Jason said Lisa was married to a real prince, had everything she wanted, and she's single looking for a regular man. Come on now, she just can't be satisfied. Jason said, Gypsy, you had oh my God, you had a wife assistant.
You know what? No, the thing is that I really listen. Let me tell you something. I like real talk. I had to go back and like look at shit. And like recently, I just recently did this. Like really, I recently did this, and I look back and I really loved my ex-husband. I really did. But there are some things that are just unforgivable for me, especially when you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Let me tell you something. My ex-husband tried to get palimony. You accustomed to a certain lifestyle because of the lifestyle that I put you in. However, I only required you to put in half of the utilities, and then you took your money and you decided to entertain a hoe. And then when I found out about the hoe, you decided to make me try to gaslight me, right? So there's that part. So the thing about it is, right, is that some women love and love hard, but if you ever cross them, they will make sure you burn in hell with gasoline draws on.
I mean, the same goes for men.
But and that's the thing is you got to think now. Listen, I didn't get married to get divorced. That's why I waited so long to get married.
That's why I ain't never been married.
I have been back and forth with him since we were in our 20s. We didn't get married till our 40s, and you fucking cheated while my mama was dying.
I feel you.
Unforgivable.
And it's understandable.
Unforgivable. And so there are just certain things that there are certain lines that you just don't cross and stuff. And you know what? Let me tell you something. This year, 2024 has been a therapeutic year for me. I went to therapy. I have figured out what my lines were, the lines that were crossed that I didn't know I had. I've learned how to vocalize my boundaries, which I did not know how to do before. But the one thing that I will not apologize for is for loving hard and trying to be a supportive wife.
And you shouldn't.
Right? But
I don't know why stuff. Okay.
that part breaks you. It breaks you in a way that a lot of people do not understand, especially when you are a person that does everything for yourself, right? And that's man or woman, right? So when you do everything for yourself and then you get a person that you allow into your space and they violate that space, that's beyond hall pass. Right? That's beyond hall pass. Because there are certain things that you can say, okay, these are the hall passes that we can allow, right? But there are certain spaces that you just don't violate.
Gypsy, if you want to take a second to just
No, I'm at you know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm at a point in life now though that hall passes is something I can get down with if we discuss them first.
Exactly.
Don't take a hall pass and then ask me for
And
it.
then ask for it later. Yeah.
Right.
You can't.
Well, what I'm saying is,
don't take a hall pass and ask for it.
Yeah, no, you
right.
can't.
If you want to grab some tissue, I just want to explain to them what a hall pass is, so that everybody's on the same page with us. But also breathe, because that was a lot and that's intense and it's all valid, right? So give yourself a moment to just be, right? It's okay. We got you, girl. We safe space. We got you. But hall passes, for anybody that's not quite sure, hall pass is like the urban, wording for somebody being in a relationship or married and giving each other or one person permission to have an affair or cheat or have a freebie with the person of their dreams, right? Or it could be a celebrity, it could be a best friend, it could be the neighbor, it could be whoever, but it's the designated person that if you ever got the opportunity, you would give them a hall pass to do that thing with that person and not get in trouble. I've heard of it where both partners agreed to it and had their designated person. I've heard of it where one person was like, I don't really need it, but I will grant you a hall pass to the other person, right? So just to make sure that everybody's on the same page with us. So if you want to pick back up, Gypsy, feel free. I just want to give you a minute to chill and then also get everybody on the same page.
So, but I'm at a different stage in life, and I guess because I'm post 50, I don't plan on getting married anymore because I'm financially sound and stable. I don't want anybody trying to take me to the cleaners anymore. My ex-husband tried to get alimony after he cheated, but he tried to get alimony. So I'm at a stage in life where I don't want to get married. I want to have someone to spend time with and do things with or whatever, but you do you and I'ma do me. But
Yeah, now I think that's some bitch ass shit trying to get palimony. Unless when you met her and y'all were both young and you said, you know what, baby, I'm gonna go ahead and work to help you finish school so you can get your law degree, and then she goes and becomes some powerful attorney, and she making all that money, but you never got that chance to do what you want to do, so you stayed doing whatever it was you doing to make money. Other than that, then nah. I mean, I think that because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if I don't got 2 cents to my name and you own a house and we getting divorced and I gotta get out. You know what? I'm gonna make a way. I'm a man. I'm a grown ass motherfucking man. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna make a way to do what I need to do.
And that's why you my best friend.
Well,
Cheers to that.
if my screen,
Hey.
y'all can see me saying cheers too, but my screen is.
Yeah, that's why he my best. Listen, y'all just don't know. Me and Sean been friends over 30 years. That's my best friend.
But I mean, as a man, and that's the thing. Like I said, like for me, the whole 50-50 thing is like this. If I can afford to do it, I'm going to do it. But if I can't, I'm gonna say, look, I can't carry this whole weight.
Right.
We gotta do something. We gotta work this shit because we in a partnership. We're together. We're working this. We're going through this together. Because at the end of the day, if I can do the whole thing, and I can still help you get to where you need to be at, I'm going to help you. Because at the end of the day, that's going to make me better as a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to help build our relationship, help strengthen our relationship, as well as help strengthen our finances.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. It should be vice versa when it comes to women. Like, look, if you're the major breadwinner, I'm not going to sit here and just lay back and play video games all day and let you pay all. Nah, I'm still gonna try to do what I'm doing, especially if I have ideas that I'm working on. Then you better guarantee them 8 hours you putting in at the job. It's them same 8 hours I'm sitting here developing my business plan, working out my whole process, so that when I present this to angel investors, like I'm planning on doing, I'm going to get that money to start this company, so you don't have to work no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Right.
thought process. And going back to what you were saying, Jay, as far as what he was saying, the guy from the interview, like that's what his wife did. She invested in him so that
Mm-hmm.
he could become the man to do what he wanted to do as a man for them.
Yeah.
And that's how you should approach a relationship. If that's someone you should now, if you just fucking around, then fuck it.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Can I say this? So the thing is that me and Tony, we were back and forth for years. We met in our 20s when both of us were broke. I was in school. I put myself through school. You know what I'm saying? He didn't help put me through school. I put myself through school. But at the same time, we met when we were both broke. Right? But at the same time, I built myself up. And then, while we were back and forth, I was progressing. He was, but he wasn't progressing like I was progressing, right? Um, I've been thinking about this since you sent the topic in to us, Jay. I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
about this. And I was like, dang, like I got a lot of friends that been married over 30 years, but I know for a fact one or both have stepped out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was like, damn, what if I'd have hung in there even after he stepped out? But that just ain't me.
I don't
That
think
ain't
you have
me.
to judge yourself based on their standard. If that's a non-negotiable or a deal breaker for you, then I think you have
That
to
was
honor it to yourself.
right. That was a deal breaker for me. But at the same time, I was like, damn, what if I'd have hung in there? Maybe we'd be all
But
right.
how much would it have hurt you to hang in there? I think that's a valid question that you're asking yourself. But on the flip side, you also have to consider if it's a deal breaker for you, if it's a non-negotiable for you, if the hurt that you feel like you endured from that experience with him impacted you in such a deep way, then how much more would it have harmed you or hurt you had you
Mhm,
tried to force yourself to stay in it?
mhm,
As everybody's built differently. This is the way I make it make sense to me. Everybody's built differently. And there are some people that can deal with multiple cheating experiences on either side or whatever, and whole hop down the street and up the community for 20 years and get through it. And then there are some people that can't deal with one. And it doesn't make you less than or greater than because you put up with trauma. Like, it just makes you you. You have to determine. Sean, I know you said you were experiencing problems on your side. We can actually see you. We can't see you now, but we can see you a minute
Right.
ago.
Oh,
We can see you now.
okay, because my picture is frozen.
Yeah, we can see you now.
But
But Gypsy,
You was fine. You were
we
fine.
can see you. But Gypsy, back to the point, I think that every person has to figure out what makes sense for them, right? Because we're
Right.
not all built the same. Everybody has a different tolerance.
Everybody has a different deal breaker. Right.
Yeah. And even if you think, oh, well, what if I had hung in there? How has it potentially hurt them? You don't see all of it. There are people that have weathered cheating
They
or
look
whatever.
so happy though.
Everybody looks happy on the outside,
Well, this is true.
right?
Yeah.
There are people that have weathered
The fact that you said that. Wow.
and there are people that have weathered deal breakers and ain't been fine. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Bottom line. So just because it looks good, I can't tell you how many. And this is real talk. All joking aside for just a minute. I can't tell you how many times I have had conversations with people because I'm the safe person for the safe people, right? And they come to me and pour their soul out because they are crushed under the weight of what they're experiencing with their person, with their kids, with their business, with what the fuck ever. But on social media, on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, baby, it is golden. Do you hear me? Because bullshit sells.
And everybody ain't who they supposed to be.
Well, not only that, but if we consider that not everybody's doing it out of malicious intent, but some people don't want to be that vulnerable to people they don't know, right? You don't know what a person's going on behind closed doors, but don't judge yourself based on their stuff. Go ahead, Sean.
And that's true, and I wasn't trying to cut you off. It's just my biggest pet peeve right now with social media is this whole war. It's a fucking war between black men and black women.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody keeps, saying shit to make the chasm bigger instead of saying shit to bring us together.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit because I'm like, yo, it doesn't have to be that way. Let's just talk to fucking each other. Let's get to know each other. Let's work this shit the fuck out. And Jason,
this is why we're doing this, right? Because we are normalizing a lot of those conversations that people often don't know where to go to have them, don't know how to bring up things, don't know the context of different things or experiencing. So we're not getting it all right, but we're doing something, by the feedback that we get that is helping people. Jason said all big stock weight.
No, before that.
Oh, okay, okay. Give me some ideas to try to use not to get me choked up and abused.
Yeah,
he's talking about the hall pass.
It's a stroke game. As long as you lay your stroke game down right,
and you still taking care of the house, don't be falling short on the damn light bill and your ass is outside.
You let her say he's the house husband and Madden 2K player ever.
you let her know that you only gonna give them half of what you give her. She might be all right with that. Because you can't lay down the stroke game on everybody, because then you get stalked.
You can't be giving everybody the good like that. Because what's the separate from home? They gotta be boundaries and rules to the thing if you're gonna do the thing, okay? But going back to your point, Sean, of the arguing online, like I said, if I look at that, a lot of people that come to me and talk about their stuff, it's not because they don't want to be honest and truthful with other people. Is that everybody's not built. This is a level of, I think people take this for granted. This is a level of vulnerability that we have to sit in and display to even be able to have these type of conversations. Because I can't talk about why nobody else is doing their podcast or their whatever. I know why I do it, right? I know why I haven't asked you all to be here with me and you've all agreed. But everybody's not built to be able to do that. So a lot of times people portray the good because that's what's selling their business and keeping those lights paid and the food on the refrigerator, in the refrigerator and on the table, and diapers on those babies' butts and whatever else may be. But B, not everybody has the emotional stamina or or emotional capacity to withstand the bullshit that you got to deal with to be this vulnerable in a public way. Whether you talking to 5 people or 5 million people, right? Because you open yourself to people's negative bullshit, you open yourself to their judgment, you open yourself to their attacks, to their energy, all of that, and you have to be able to operate in a particular way to protect yourself. And everybody, again, everybody's built different. Not that they're less than or not as good as, but everybody's built different, and not all of us are built to withstand the same thing. Something that you go through will break another person. Something that Gypsy or I can get broken with, somebody else can stand, vice versa, right?
You know what? And I'm gonna be real transparent here, y'all. I think had he been cheating at any other time other than when my mother was dying, I may have been all right.
That's valid.
I may have looked the other way.
That's valid.
Absolutely may have looked the other way. But because my mother was dying and I was at a different point, like a seriously vulnerable state in life, that I know that I'm never that same person that I was October 28, 2011. I'm never ever going to be that person again. And because he was cheating during that most raw state of my entire life on this earth, where that transition period between who I was and who I am now, I can never forgive him for that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And so I operate with the thought that, and I'm not saying anybody has to agree with this, but I operate with the thought that forgiveness is never about the other person. It's always about self. Because to not forgive imposes a prison upon yourself to stay in that hurt, that pain, and that trauma, and all the shit that comes with it, right? So is it possible that you can forgive him, not about him, and you ain't never got to say it to him, but is it possible that you can forgive him so that you can be free of any hurt?
But see, that's the thing. I've forgiven him, but I will never ever welcome him back into my spirit again.
That's fine. That's forgiveness don't mean access either.
But see, that's the difference. Like, had he done this at a different time, I probably would have forgiven him and welcomed him back into my spirit again with time, because he had done some other fuck shit when we were younger, right? But you so silly.
Unlike Jason, he equal opportunity.
I know, right?
That's what I'm talking about, Jason. We ride it done. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's the thing, is he had done some other fuck shit when we were younger, and I still rocked with him. But that part, at the point where I am forever changed, that I can never be that person, that carefree person that I was before that date. Yeah, I can't rock with you no more.
That's valid, right? I just asked that question because I live with the thought process that forgiveness is never about them. But to not forgive a person holds us hostage to the pain and gives them power. They're not even thinking about us, but we still mad and upset and broken at what they've done. So freedom is for self.
One of the things that I heard, I was following this podcast, and it introduced me to this therapist, this world-renowned trauma therapist named Dr. Gabor Mate. He's French. And when I tell you, the one thing he said that actually resonated with me and actually made me seek therapy earlier this year was when he said that everybody who experiences trauma does not develop an addiction, but I guarantee you everybody with an addiction has had trauma.
That makes sense.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
And And you know, I'm gonna tell you, I wrestled with that for a minute because I was like, the fuck is he talking about? What does he mean that everybody with an addiction has trauma? And what kind of addiction is he talking about? I ain't got no drug addiction. I ain't got no this addiction. I ain't got. But see, that's the thing. You can be addicted to other things. You can be addicted to trauma.
Yeah.
You could be addicted to toxic relationships. You could be addicted to a whole lot of things other than drugs and narcotics and alcohol and things like that. You can be addicted to other things that will keep enticing you to that. And let me tell you, he was like, I was 72 when I realized that I had abandonment issues. And I was like, what? This guy is a doctor. And he realized he had abandonment issues from when he was like 2. So people that think that 2-year-olds don't remember shit, he said he remembers his mom having to hand him off to somebody. They was in a war zone. And he didn't see his mom for like 3 weeks.
So he must have a identity. What is it called? An identity? Whatever. Well,
He said he had abandonment issues.
photographic memory is
Right. But he said he had abandonment issues from that because, you know, he did not see his mom for 3 weeks. So you know that's the whole thing, is that we don't realize what we have encountered that has maybe traumatized us at a young age. And so if you keep encountering the same kind of situations and stuff, get some therapy.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That's why therapy is important.
Get some therapy, because 9 times out of 10, something you've encountered at a young age has caused you to be either attracted to situations like that, or has whenever you're encountering situations like that, you're having issues with those. And so you just need to get some therapy. And I know as Black folks, we don't like to talk about therapy. We don't want to go to therapy. We just want to, you know, just sweep it under the rug and don't talk about it or whatever. But we need fucking therapy, because you know what? Let me tell you something. We have been the most traumatized people on this earth. And the problem is that it's been perpetuated through our family, because our family has kind of sent this like false narrative that we're not supposed to seek therapy. And you know, one of the things that I was listening to Kennedy. I don't like his little take on vaccines and shit like that. I really don't. But when he was talking about how, there's an uptick in autism because it's linked to the vaccines. Bullshit. It's not an uptick because it's linked to the vaccines. What it's an uptick in is because people are going to the fucking psychiatrist and going to figure out what the fuck is wrong with them. And that's how they're figuring out that all these people are autistic. They've been autistic. You know that motherfucker in the back room that didn't talk. You know his ass was autistic. Now that you look back at it, he was autistic too. They just didn't take him to therapy. So they didn't know he was autistic. They just thought he couldn't talk.
So the thing is, I mean, we just have to, well, first of all, we got to stop saying Black people don't like to, and we got to start normalizing.
It's the truth.
But we got to start normalizing that, yes, we go to therapy. That's what we got to start normalizing, because the more we normalize it, the more we talk about it.
Well, we've normalized that we didn't go to therapy, and that's why we don't know what the fuck wrong with us.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to stop doing that. So the conversation from this point forward has got to be, yes, we do go to therapy. Yes, we do talk about things. Yes, we do work those things out.
And I would venture to say that more of us are in therapy in different forms, because not everybody's going to seek a mental health therapist, but there are a lot of people that work with naturopathic practitioners. There are a lot of people that go to different healers and use different modalities in their effort and attempt to get support and help, right? So I think we have the whole larger space that is not going to look the same for everybody, but more and more people. And that's evident by the conversations being had on social media. yeah, we can still say, I think that it is stigmatized in our community because that is true, right? We still have a lot of old school people that think, don't put my business out there in the street. Go to the pastor, lay on the altar. And I'm a big fan of telling people half the time your pastor don't have the correct training to actually help you with the issue that you need outside of maybe helping you understand that scriptural reference and praying for you, which is fine, but that's not the whole pie that you need. And number two, if laying on the altar was all that we needed, we wouldn't have half the shit going wrong that we have now. So clearly that's not the only answer, right? We have to be able to face the fear that we have to disappoint the people that we love.
Right.
Because oftentimes I think people want to go to therapy, they want to get help, they want to go to whoever and get the support that they need, right? But we don't want to disappoint the people that we love and look weak. We don't want to disappoint the people that we love and look fragile, because we as people have been taught and socialized that we don't go get help outside. We need to be self-reliant because ain't nobody coming to fucking save us. And the reality is also that's some bullshit too, because we as human beings literally need each other in order to
Yeah.
thrive and survive, right? No man is an island. That's really true. We can't thrive if we try to exist separately.
Yeah.
So I think, again, evidence that we can look at is the number of podcasts, the different videos that we see a lot of people talking about sharing in solidarity of, I've been dealing with depression or anxiety, or I went through a divorce, or my dog died, or I had these losses, or, I've just been struggling to get out of bed, or whatever they may be talking about on, their videos, their audios, their podcasts, their business, whatever it is. So the work is there, the growth is there, but we have to also be willing to recognize that some things have to be repetitive in order to take root, because we heard it for how long that we don't do it. Like Sean said, now we have to keep being repetitive to normalize the conversation that we do it, and we are doing it so that other people take root. That's why I asked you about the forgiveness thing, because I think a lot of times we get lost. I know I hated the thought of forgiveness growing up, because it was taught to me as if I had to forgive other people so that they would be okay and we could all be at peace. First of all, fuck you and your peace. And I'm not worried
Right.
about them being okay. I'm worried about me being okay, right? So I think a lot of times people balk at forgiveness and they hold themselves hostage instead of finding freedom, because it was given to them at like a bitter pill. You got to forgive Uncle John for abusing you. You got to forgive G-Mom for beating the fucking black off of you. You got to forgive your daddy for leaving, because they need to be able to feel better, instead of centralizing and centering. No, you deserve to have relief from the burden that you've been carrying. It's not about making the person that hurt you feel better. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
about saying, I choose to stop swallowing poison trying to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And forgiveness also doesn't mean access. I can forgive you, and I'm famous for this in my circle, baby. I will forgive you right now and
Mm-hmm.
still never speak to you again. Because
Exactly.
if
Right.
I no longer trust you, you have lost the right, the privilege to have access to me. I forgive you because I choose me, I choose freedom. But you no longer have the privilege of being in my presence to hurt me again, because now I don't trust you. Right. So again, to reiterate, that forgiveness does not mean access, y'all, to whoever may hear this,
Yeah.
whenever you may hear it.
Yeah.
So let me also go back and clear this up, because we kind of mix some things together. So we were talking about, hall passes. Hall passes are not the same thing, guys, as cheating. Those are two
It
very
sure
different
ain't.
things,
A
because
hall
cheating is
pass,
lying.
no.
Right, a cheating experience is they're lying to you, they're hiding it, they're being deceptive. And hall passes when two adults, or however many is in the experience, have agreed that there is an opportunity to do something, whether it be on a certain date or a vacation, or with a certain person or designated person, or
Mhm.
within a certain time frame or whatever. But it is an agreed upon experience that people can have the right to do, versus cheating is all about deception. And so,
Mhm.
even with that, again, I think that comes down to communication. Because if you, and here, I'm just throwing a random thing out here, but I hear people say it, and I've said it, and it's really stupid, but it's how we feel in the moment. a lot of times people are accused of cheating because of the person's insecurity. Well, I know you sleeping with somebody. Well, I know you cheating, whatever. And the person that's being accused of it, when they know that they're righteous and they're not doing anything wrong, can begin to think, well, fuck, if I'm gonna be accused of it, I might as well go on and do it. I know I've said it before. Like, damn. I mean, if
Yeah.
I gotta keep
We've
thinking
done
this, I
that.
might go on and do it. You know what I'm saying? At least then, if you're gonna accuse me of it, I got some shit to stand on in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even with that, I also want to throw that out there that, you know, it's not justified because you were accused of it and you did it to make it true.
But at the same time, you get so tired of hearing that shit. Yo,
Right?
if you're gonna accuse me and you're gonna persecute me for doing something I'm not doing, I might as well go ahead and do it. So hey,
Might
man,
as well make sense, you know?
Right.
So it's not justified just because you did it to prove them right. Or like Gypsy said, you know, he did it and then tried to make it make sense. I think at that point,
Right.
we all as individuals have to own up to our shit. And my hope
Right.
is that, you know, he in whatever capacity can figure out his shit to be a better human being. But if he doesn't, then may he deal with the consequences of his own actions forever and ever. Like, that's how I look at people. I hope you have an opportunity. Let me fix that. Depending on what it is, I tend to look at things and think, I hope you have an opportunity to fix that. And there are some things, motherfucker, I hope it's multiplied back 1,000-fold to you.
Right.
So it depends. I'm equal opportunity, get your ass whooped by spirit for anybody that got to come in, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, however you may feel about justice and vengeance and revenge and all those things, forgiveness is still about you as the person that is hurting, finding your freedom. You as the person that has had the trauma, finding your peace so that it doesn't stop you from your next experience, whether that's being with another person, getting married, doing whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, and I get it. I mean, that's the thing is I just have to. I have to get to the point where I'm not. I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm not as bitter as I was. I really have. I've gotten to the point where I'm not as bitter as I was, and you know, I've actually apologized for how I left, not why I left, but how I left. Right? I just, you know, it's just different. I just don't at least I stopped wishing hellfire and brimstone on his ass. I used to. I mean, what? I mean, I could be honest about that. But it wasn't until I stopped wishing hellfire and brimstone on his ass that things started to be okay and I started seeing the sun out and that kind of thing. But yeah.
well, all I'm gonna say is if I needed a hall pass today, it'd be for Kiki Palmer. That's it.
Wait a minute, I thought you said Pam Greer.
I
That
thought you
was
said Pam Greer.
that was back in the day until Kiki Palmer came around. When she became grown.
Oh God. Okay.
All right, R. Kelly.
She grown.
Oh my God.
Now
So
she grown. She grown.
how old is she? I don't know. What is
She's
she?
like
About
25,
30
26.
See, she grown.
or 25?
She's
That
still
being
young
said,
enough to be your kid.
I
oh
ain't got no kids.
damn.
Yeah.
That being said, my good peoples, you know, there's nothing wrong
31.
with giving a hall pass or receiving a hall pass as long as your person know that you got a hall pass. Hey, if you got a hall pass and your person don't know,
You
something
know,
wrong. You
I
cheating.
do
You ain't got
have
no
a
hall pass.
cutoff. I do have a cutoff limit. My cutoff limit is anybody that could be in my son's friend group. I can't do it.
Nah,
I would feel so pedophilish.
you're supposed to be friends with an 85-year-old.
No, I'm talking about they could pile around, go to the club together.
With an 85-year-old.
So 29 and 35
What
off limits.
they saying? We all fam in the club or something like that right now. So Your son could be with an 85-year-old lifestyle.
I can't do it because I would just feel so pedophilish. Because if I'm old enough to be your mama, if I got a kid your age, that means I'm old enough to be your mama. And if I'm old enough to be your mama, I can't be your.
See, I don't got that problem. I don't got no kids, so hey.
I mean, I could date a
It don't mean
29-year-old.
nothing. You old enough. Listen, you old enough to be Kiki mama. I mean, daddy.
Hey, mama, goddamn! You tell me something I don't know. Am I about to go through a change or something? What are you talking?
I mean, you old enough to be Kiki daddy. You old enough to be her daddy. That is so gross.
Yeah, and she can call me daddy.
Look, I ain't got no kids. I'm with you, Sean. I ain't got no kids. I could date a 25-year-old or 29-year-old. I'm not, but I could if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? That's being
so
said,
nasty.
Oh, girl, stop being so judgy, McJudgy. Just stop it.
I am judgy, McJudgy. What would you feel like? Just think that motherfucker was in diapers when you was in the club.
Hey, it happened. So literally, shit, I'm
That's
50.
so gross.
So let's say 20. So anybody that's like in their 30s, like even if they in they late 30s, I still was old enough to be up in the club when they was born.
Not legally, lying motherfucker.
He said that ain't the point though. He could get up in that bad boy.
Let you live that down.
Yeah, I was
Girl,
up.
she over here just being judgy McJudgy for no reason at this point. Girl, let it go. Okay, let it go.
He knows where that's coming from.
I know where it's coming from too, because you keep calling him out on it. And with that being said, he is out of drink. I'm sleepy, so we have hit our time to go ahead and clock out of this thing. Before we call it,
hey, will we see them next week? Will we see them next week? Yes.
Before I say that, what's next week?
Next week is Christmas Eve.
We'll be live. Yeah,
we're gonna be live on Christmas Eve.
We'll take
right before Santa Claus come.
We'll take some shots. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you keep sharing the videos. Make sure that you subscribe. Thank y'all for continuing to help us grow and being so amazing. We freaking love y'all. And with that,
yes.
Good night.